As all of this transpired in the South, Americans in the northern states were largely engaged in acts of self-deception or were obscured from the realities of human bondage in the United States. White Americans of all classes in northern states were convinced that the end of slave importation from outside the country meant that slavery was dying. This is even as the domestic slave trade ramped up from a trickle to a gushing river of unfree African Americans being shipped west and south of the Upper South, Virginia, Maryland, and so forth. It wasn't until about the time of the War of 1812 that some political leaders in northern states, many of whom vehemently opposed slavery, came to realize what was happening. And by that time, and especially by about 1820, slavery had become too well established and plantation owners had become too wealthy and too politically powerful, especially with the assistance of the 3/5 clause of the Constitution. That's what gave them a lot of their political power, that they could count slaves for population purposes and give themselves more representatives in Congress and more voice in the Electoral College. All of that meant that Northerners opposed to slavery could not stop the dominance of plantation economics that depended on black slavery.